Over the past few weeks, it seems like Charles Oliveira has been greatly underestimated among casual fans, some hardcore fans, and interestingly, from fighters. A lot of fighters and a lot of fans believe that Dustin Poirier should be able to go right through Charles Oliveira, and the same reason is always given. Dustin's too big, he's too pressuring, he's too powerful, and Oliveira is going to crumble under that pressure, some even saying that he's easily broken. It's interesting that the size and the power and the pressure from Dustin Poirier is a main reason why a lot of people believe that Dustin Poirier should be able to run right through Charles Oliveira, but Oliveira just fought Michael Chandler, who's bigger, stronger, more athletic, faster, more powerful than Dustin Poirier, yet he wasn't able to get the job done. And Oliveira did fall, but he was not broken. He came back and won the fight against an extremely durable Michael Chandler. Justin Gaethje repeatedly said that Charles Oliveira is an easily broken fighter. Even Michael Chandler, a guy who got knocked out by Charles, even said that someone like Justin Gaethje should be able to break Oliveira, and Dustin Poirier should be able to beat him through his pressure and stuff like that. Many other fighters have said the same thing about Oliveira. That narrative is just not leaving him, even though he's proving the doubters wrong time after time. It wasn't just the Michael Chandler fight that Charles Oliveira came back after getting hurt and won the fight. He did it before. For an example, when he fought David Tamer. David Tamer dropped him in the first round. Oliveira stood back up and absolutely destroyed Tamer, who's a great kickboxer in his own right. Oliveira did it on the feet. And the consistency that he's been on with this long win streak just shows you his mental fortitude to not be able to mess up in many exchanges. And even if things go south for him, like it has many times, he's able to fight his way back and get that victory. The best display was against Michael Chandler, and it was very interesting to see that Chandler thinks that someone like Justin Gaethje can break Oliveira, and Dustin Poirier would be way too pressuring. And actually, Dustin Poirier himself seems to be one of the only guys who is not underestimating Charles Oliveira. He's saying that he's not easily broken. He's saying he's good on the feet, not only on the ground. He's saying that he has to respect all of his skills, and he's a guy who has fallen many times and was able to pick himself back up. Dustin Poirier knows from experience not to underestimate anybody, because he was underestimated for such a long time. He's not going to fall into that trap thinking that Charles Oliveira is this and that, he's easily broken, he's only good on the ground, I can pressure him and just walk right through this guy, he's not a true champion, all this stuff. Dustin Poirier is looking at Charles Oliveira realistically, and that's why Dustin is in the position that he's in. It's very weird that the champion of the division can also be like the biggest dark horse, and a lot of people are not sold on Oliveira's skills yet. A lot of fighters look at Oliveira as, of course, an extremely dangerous grappler. You do not want to go to the ground with the guy. And they also say that he has improved his striking. But I don't think a lot of people understand how much Oliveira has improved in his striking. His striking is so clean, and against Poirier, it can surprise a lot of people, because Poirier is regarded as one of the best boxers in the UFC. His offense is one of the most crisp I've ever seen in the lightweight division. His boxing is so sharp, his kicks are dynamic, he's one of the best fighters at keeping opponents at range, great flexibility in almost everything he throws, he has great extension, I would have to say better extension in his punches and kicks than 99% of the lightweights. Someone like Conor McGregor might have better extension, but most other fighters do not have the same flexibility in their strikes the way Oliveira does. Even Poirier doesn't match him in that area. It's not really about the size and the power and stuff like that that's going to make the biggest difference for Dustin Poirier. It's his skills. It's his boxing skills in close range and overall his volume. But a lot of people have to also regard, how does Poirier get inside in his own reach? Because of course Oliveira is the longer guy. He's 2 inches taller with like a 2-inch reach advantage. So that reach advantage is definitely going to be magnified because Oliveira is taller and he fights longer. Dustin Poirier's biggest weakness in the striking has always been trying to find his range from a distance to get in close. He's not too great from a distance, unless you're not great with leg kicking defense like Conor McGregor. For the most part, he wants to get in your face. In recent years, the way he's been getting in on opponents is with a shift combination. He even did it against Conor McGregor. He did it against Dan Hooker and got countered many times for it. And against Oliveira, there's a new wrinkle, not only counter striking against those winging punches, but now there's a double leg takedown for Oliveira to go to that many of Dustin Poirier's recent opponents do not go for. Oliveira has a fantastic double leg takedown. He's very good countering opponent's aggression with that, and he's done it many times in the past. And Poirier's takedown defense historically has been shown not to be that great. Dustin hasn't fought many guys who have tried to take him to the ground, but the guys who have tried, most of them have gotten him down. Dan Hooker, who's not that great of a wrestler at all, took down Dustin Poirier multiple times in their fight. Khabib, of course, took him down over and over again. Eddie Alvarez in the second fight was like the only opponent who got multiple takedowns stuffed by Dustin. But then Anthony Pettis took him down. Eddie Alvarez in the first fight took him down. Jim Miller took him down. And besides maybe Eddie Alvarez and of course Khabib, none of these guys shoot a double leg takedown like Charles Oliveira does. And again, it specifically counters Dustin Poirier's shift combination or any attempt to pressure his way in from long range to close range. In that bridge right there, that's where Oliveira can intercept him with a double leg and take the fight to the ground and put the fight in his own world. If he gets taken to the ground by Oliveira, this fight might be over before you know it. And that's the main thing here. How can anybody underestimate Charles Oliveira when he has such a dangerous wrestling and grappling game and he's solid on the feet? I'm in the camp that this fight is close. This can go to either fighter. I'm not looking at this like Charles Oliveira is going to get ran through because he can't take the pressure and he can't take the power and Poirier is too big. Those are going to cause an issue. But there's a lot more variables in that fight than just Poirier walking forward, punching Oliveira in the face, taking him to the ground, and breaking him. If Poirier does get into close boxing range, he definitely has a huge shot at winning this fight. Oliveira's gonna have a hard time avoiding the shots because he doesn't really move his head that much. He's gonna guard up on the punches and they're gonna get around the guard, and Oliveira might have to be forced to panic wrestle. But this is only in the scenario that Dustin Poirier is able to back Oliveira up to the cage, which is something Oliveira never likes to do. Oliveira's always the guy that actually wants to back up his opponent. Poirier has been shown in the past to be easier to back up than Oliveira has been, and Dustin's gonna have to cross that distance from far in order to pressure Oliveira, and that's where the biggest fight is going to happen.